Here's an overview of the CCI instance of Salesforce going through a browser. I happen to be going through Chrome, but you can use Internet Explorer or Firefox depending on what you like. What I recommend, you can bookmark this. Login.salesforce.com is how you get to the page that we want to go into. Again, we are always using our email address, and then we can put the password in that we've assigned ourselves. We click the login button, and it's going to take us to the interface for the user interface for salesforce.com. The first home page, or the page that we're coming up to, is tasks, and you can then see in there a task that you've assigned for yourself, so you can go through those tasks and clean them up accordingly. Similar to the mobile device, what we have up here at the top of the page is the universal search. So that might be something that you would want to use on a regular basis. So I might come in and say, I want to be looking for Husky. And I can come in, and if I want to search everything for Husky, I can hit enter. Or I can pick the smart selection that they've given me down here for that. I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter. And then here is the search for Husky. So it's going to come up with some different contact names associated with it. And then I can come over here and I can select specifically what I want to search from the universal search. So if I said, okay, I just want to look at contacts, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to see a list of contacts that come up that are associated to Husky. Or I can say that I'm going to accounts, and we can come in and we can take a look at the accounts. Anytime I put my mouse over something and the finger goes up and we've got the blue underline, that will take us to the account record or to the record itself. So when I come in to Husky, a main landing page, similar again to the mobile device up at the top, we've got their phone number, we've got their website, kind of what their industry is associated with it. And directly below it, we have our contacts. In this particular case, it says 6+. I can click on that 6+ contacts, and that will take me to the list of all of the different contacts that I have within Husky. At any given time, I could either hit the back point on my browser, or I can come over here in the top left-hand corner and click on Husky Energy and get back to Husky Energy. Other things associated to it, again, is our project lists. So I can come in and I can sort on the project lists, and all of these here would be ascending, descending. So I can come in and I can take a look at the different projects that we have. This is the hyperlink that would take me directly to the project that I want to go in and see related to Husky. So I can come in here and get more detail associated to this specific project list related to Husky. To get back, I can hit my browser again, or in this particular case, I can see I've got the account name Husky or client name Husky, and I'll go back and click on that. And if you're interested to dive a little bit deeper, here's a list of facilities associated with Husky, drilling license details. So I could come in here and I could click on the facility license count. License date is the date that we're most interested in. And then I could see here in Bonnyville, they're doing a well battery, and then so on and so on. Lloydminster, maybe I'm looking specifically in the Red Deer area. I can click on that, and it will go through and tell me information about it. The field that you're probably most interested in would be the category type. So it's a gas battery. Talks a little bit about the gas throughput in cubic feet, oil, condensate, water. And in this particular case, the compressor is telling me that they're installing a compressor for this particular facility. When I'm in the Husky record, I can come in and I can do lots of different actions associated with Husky. I could log a call. So if I was going to say, I'm just calling in the Husky and I happen to be calling a guy that I know, I can put my mouse into the subject and I can type in call. I can put in my comments, this is a test call, and then if I want to, I can search for the contacts related to Husky, but not just Husky. I can see some Husky contacts here. I can type anybody I want, but I'm going to pick John, and then I go ahead and I say save, and that particular task has now been saved for me on that side of it. I can assign myself a task, again related to Husky. I can come in here and I can put the subject name, the due date, and then who the task is related to, or I can send an email directly to somebody from Husky from my interface here as well. So everything that I want associated from an activity perspective, all found right here. If I have information associated to Husky that I want to share, I can come into my chatter, and then I can come in and I can associate a post into chatter. I could say, look at this, or I can attach a file. I can insert the link right into the post, tell everybody that, hey, you should be taking a look at this information associated with Husky, and I can mention anybody that I want, and then that information will go directly to that individual. Everything that we've seen here from an activity perspective, if I click on a specific contact related to Husky, then I have the exact same call to actions on the side. I can log my phone call, I can make a task, and I can do an event, so on and so forth, associated with this particular contact. So I can have all my activity associated with that individual. Some of the other features that are powerful inside of Salesforce, when we go to a tab, we have what they call our list views capability. And so over here where it says recently viewed, I can pull down and I can select different list views. So this is an interesting one, accounts with projects. I can select the accounts with projects, and that's going to give me a list of all the accounts that you've done projects with. So if you're quickly looking for an account, this is one way that we can go in here. We can click on the actual account, and then again, we're in the account screen associated. We've got our contacts, we've got our activities, our project lists, so on and so forth. If I come back to the list view, I built some other list views. I'll send out a video on how to create list views to everybody so they understand that. But I've got my customers down here. I can also go to midstream customers. I could go to producers, producer customers. So if I select that, those are all producers that you have done, which we call it projects with. So we look at project counts associated with producers. And then here would be a list of the accounts. And then this gives me some of the indication of how many wells we've drilled, how many facilities that particular individual has. We can come in and we can search any contact that we're looking for at any given time in the system. So I can come over here and I could say I'm looking for John, and when I come over here we can go ahead and we can select John. It then comes in and it shows me a list of contacts, and it says I've got 5 plus more contacts associated with there. So we've got our contacts contact list associated with here. So if I just went in and I selected the contacts label, and it came in and it gave me a much larger list associated. I could sort it by name and alphabetically come down and look for the John that I'm looking for specifically. If it happened to be John from ConocoPhillips, I click on his name, and then I can log my calls, make my telephone, everything that I want with it. When we come into her, here's related, I select details. That's the detail information associated with this. In this particular case, we don't have a phone number, we don't have an email address. If I come over to the top right hand corner and I select edit, it allows me to come in here and edit and update this particular field. So that is how we go in and find contacts. We also have our list of our project lists here, and this is a list of all of them. This is where our list view definitely comes in handy. So I can come over here and I can pick different list views that I want, or create my own list views. So in this one, I've gone in and I've said I want all the ones that we have proposals with. And so here are a list of all of the contracts, or sorry, project lists that we have associated with the that are active as far as what the stage is with this particular list. Dashboards and reports, I'm going to do a specific video on that to give you more indication of how we're going to use that as we start to roll that out. And the chatter is, again, the post that I've talked about. What I can do is I can come in here and I can see all the information that's being posted into the feed. So, here's a list. There was David. He posted this was a good call. Of course, he doesn't work there. I just happen to be logged into his own account. Here is information that I post weekly related to oil and gas information, projects, people coming out, first well licenses, so on and so forth. One thing that you might want to do is if you want to see more activity from an individual, I can come over here and I can search for a user, and then once I've selected that user, I can then go in and I can say that I want to follow that specific user. And when I'm following that user, what will happen from a chatter feed is I can come over here to what I follow, and every time that individual puts in a log call, those types of things, I'll be able to see that, and once it's in here, I can then comment and continue on the conversation associated with it. Again, we'll come back to this task. If I'm assigning myself tasks related to project lists, related to accounts or contacts, I'm going to find that information here, and then I can quickly go in and close out all of the tasks that I have set up for myself. So that's an overview of how we use the browser from Salesforce to be more effective.